Hi everyone, it's Allen with Earthglow. Welcome back to another new video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I pack my concrete candles. And we're actually going to be packing some customer orders today. And so as I mentioned in my last Pack With Me video, which I'll have linked above if you haven't checked that one out, packing the concrete candles is a little bit more challenging than packing your typical glass candles. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. It's just something about this medium. They tend to be a little bit more fragile, even though they are thicker walled. What I like to do to avoid using bubble wrap is I tend to use this crinkle paper, and I will have the one that I use linked below. It's just a standard like honeycomb paper, and I like to use the black tissue paper on the inside, which I get on Uline, just because it is able to kind of go with my branding a little bit more. So I use the 6x6 or the 4x4x6 boxes as well for these. And I've played with a lot of different boxes for packing these candles. I've tried a lot of the different ones they have on Amazon, for example, and I have used some of them in the past, but these particular boxes that you see to the left here, the 4x4x6, so the height is 6 inches and the width and length is 4 inches, they tend to work really well for a lot of my candles. So when I'm packing any type of candle that is not a tin, I will tend to use a box within a box, and that has substantially reduced my damage rates. Now, there are some types of candles that I'm not able to do this on. For example, the Amazon oval mold. I'll have it linked below. Most of you who do concrete are probably familiar with this mold, as well as the 4-inch Modern Craft Labs tulip mold. Those particular molds, I don't have a box within a box solution for at this time, but I am looking into that. So with those ones, I do just use a lot of bubble wrap. However, it isn't the best thing ecologically, so I have found that with the 3-inch Modern Craft Lab tulip molds, as well as a lot of the glass candle jars that I've used, like the Candle Science Astro jars, as well as the matte black Cali jars, you are able to use in these boxes, and you can use the same size box for all of them. You will need to, on the bottom, put sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less crinkle paper, but these boxes allow for padding on both the top and the bottom, which I think is really useful when you are trying to protect your candles. And so I will, again, the black tissue paper, it's kind of just for the aesthetics. And the crinkle paper, you have to kind of pull it apart. Now, I have found with this crinkle paper that if you pull it too hard, it can kind of rip. So you'll kind of get a feel for just how much to pull the paper. And then I tend to use just a little bit of regular tape there, and then I will go ahead and put one of my labels on the front. Now, these are labels that I designed in Canva, and I print through online labels. I will have the exact paper that I'm using to print these on below. But I find that it's really nice to have your branding in as many places as possible on the package. So I like to close all my boxes with my candle label, as well as sometimes even use it like this to hold the crinkle paper together, with obviously some tape underneath it, just reinforcing it. I don't think it would be entirely necessary. These craft labels are pretty sticky already, but it just kind of reinforces it. And as I said, these are not the same labels that I use on the candles themselves. For the Rustic Collection candles, I'm actually wrapping the Moonlight Mahogany right now. What I like to do is I'll go into Canva and I will just design like a separate little template to go with each of my candles in this particular label size, again, that I'll have linked below. And then you are able to just kind of customize your box a little bit more. Now, you definitely could use a slightly different label size to do this. I've used other sizes myself and other materials, but the purpose of it is just to kind of, again, get your branding on the box as well as on some of the wrapping paper. Now, the stamp that you see in the background there, that is actually a stamp that I had designed on Etsy, and I'll try to link the shop below for you guys if any of you want to check them out. They've done a number of different stamps for my business. If you guys have purchased from me before and you've seen the Earthglow stamps that I use on the sides of my boxes, or the Earthglow logo, I should say, that is actually a stamp. And I'll try to link my video below as well, where I unboxed the specific stamps. from this particular shop. I think it's called Sayabella Stamps or something, but just super good service. And again, you can put your branding on your box super inexpensively and easily. And I know there's places abroad that you can get like from China and get like custom boxes and whatnot, but you're often looking at ordering them in the thousands of quantities, and it gets really challenging because even sometimes ordering samples can be hundreds of dollars, and it's often just really a little bit cost prohibitive for small businesses just starting out. So like I said, the tissue paper is from Uline. And what I like to do for most of my candles is I will actually cut the tissue paper in half. And that gives me a good height for the candles that I usually am wrapping. And so before we start packing these individual orders, what I typically like to do is pack a bunch of the concrete candles. So this was after my recent rustic collection restock. And so these candles, what I like to do, this was actually a restock after the initial restock. These have been selling like crazy. What I typically like to do is wrap a bunch of the candles in a batch. So right now, as I said, I'm doing the Moonlight Mahogany ones, and I will tend to wrap all of those at once and then go on to the next scent. Now, that just helps for me personally with any candles just to streamline my process. I find that I'm able to save a lot of time that way. And then as you get orders kind of throughout the week, then your candles are already wrapped up and ready to go. Now, my one caveat to this, as I've mentioned in previous videos, is at farmers markets, just because sometimes if you're at a market and it's really sunny and you don't exactly know like the angle of the sun on your products, I find that pre-packaging at those particular types of events, maybe it works, but for me personally, I sort of get uncomfortable with it because I can't really be for sure that my customer's candle hasn't already melted a little bit without like breaking open the whole box and all that. So I tend to just pre-package for website orders and live stream orders. And then what I will do with these boxes, these particular ones are going to be wrapped up for customer orders that you'll see later on in the video. But if I had restocked these candles and I was going to put them on the shelf, I would just then put the individual boxes like this on the shelf, and then I would obviously update my Shopify inventory to reflect the restock. And obviously when you pack the website orders, they're going to have various combinations of these products. And if I was really smart, I probably would have super specific box sizes for every single one of my products. I stock 6 cubed, 8 cubed, 10 cubed, and 12 cubed boxes for Earthglow. And those are just the sizes that tend to work the best for most of my products. And I do find the cubic shipping rates seem to be pretty good. And I tend to ship with the USPS ground shipping. Oh my God, you guys, Moonlight Mahogany has been so popular. For those of you who want the specific formula to this candle, I will be posting it to my Patreon later today. But this particular candle has been probably one of our most popular rustic collection scents. The hot throw is out of this world on this one, and it just smells like you are under the stars, gazing up at the moon on a warm summer night, and there's a subtle breeze in the air. You might have just been at a bonfire. It's just such a vibe. And I do make these vessels, as most of you know, myself out of concrete. These particular ones were made from cement all. And I have a number of videos, if you're new to the channel, on how I make my concrete candles for Earthglow. But it's a specialty product that I absolutely love making. And I would encourage you, if you're a candle maker and you're at all interested in concrete candle making, to check out my Patreon, because there are a number of different very specific formulas for pretty much all the vessels that I've made out of concrete. And they'll include right down to the mold size, the wicks, the wax, everything. So as I said, I'm just getting these Moonlight Mahoganies packed up here. And then what I will do, I actually had, I think 8 or 9 different orders that I was going to be packing. And so then what I will do is go ahead and print off all of the packing slips for the orders. And in Shopify, you're actually able to do that before you print the shipping labels, which is really nice. If you're like me, you don't always know what your weight is going to be of a given box. And so it helps to just have the packing slips, and then that way you can go ahead and get those customer orders fulfilled and packed up. And then I'll just put the first name of my customer on the box, as well as the weight of the box in pounds. And you'll see me do all that kind of later in the video, step by step, so you can see my process. But yeah, I have found with these concrete candles that you do definitely need a little more packaging. And I know there's also places like Candle Science and Makesy where they have specific types of vessels that they look really cool. They're like, if you guys have seen those tube-shaped vessels where they are tailor fit to your specific candle, I really like the look of those, but they are pretty expensive. And for something like this, I'm looking for a product that's a little bit more versatile. So that's why I like these boxes, because they fit so many different sizes of my products. And the other thing I like about them is that they are made from recycled paper. So the Uline boxes are made from already recycled, 100% recycled content. At least that's what they say on the package. And that is something that I really like for my brand and just for my own values. It is actually, I don't advertise that anywhere, but I try to get as many packing materials as I can like that. Same case with our bags for the farmers markets. I'll put the link to those below, but I actually get those on Amazon, put a similar sticker on them to add the branding again, but they are already made from 100%, or it might be 70% recycled content. Everything we can do to kind of help environmentally, but also, as I said in my last video, there are cost things as well, to where we have to consider the cost of something and is it worth that. You have to kind of pick and choose a little bit, and you can always improve your processes. So as I said before, if I'm selling in like a live stream video where I'm going to be packaging up tons of these candles at once, I might still use bubble wrap. Last weekend after our live streams, I shipped out more than 200 candles that sold in the live sales on Instagram. And so if I was going to package them all with the crinkle paper and tissue paper, it would just be too long for customers to get their orders, to be honest. And so I did use kind of a hybrid method where I used some bubble wrap and then some of the tissue paper and crinkle paper. But as I said, I am trying to transition everything to this method just because it is better environmentally. However, there's always going to be exceptions. And as I said in my last packing video, if you're using bubble wrap and your damage rates are low and you feel really good about how well your products are protected and whatnot, just keep doing it for now. And you can always work to improve your processes. So I don't think I mentioned this, but with the crinkle paper, with this particular dimension that I'll again have linked below, this has been my favorite dimension-wise for these candles, I will fold it in half and then kind of wrap around, just kind of roll the candle in it. And then once it's in the box itself, in the Uline box, I will try to put the crinkle paper, kind of press it down the sides of the box, almost like you would do with the packing peanuts when you're packing the physical package itself as well. And off to the left, you can see I've got what looks to be like two different business cards. The one to the far left is actually a candle care card, and I actually get those on Vistaprint, and I'm able to design a template. It's actually my own template, but you're able to do quite a bit of customization on there. And I think they come out to like 9 or 10 cents each. And I've actually tried to print like care cards myself that look kind of like that. And it's just definitely much more time consuming, and it's easier to just, again, purchase from somewhere like Vistaprint, or I think Canva may sell where you can print with them as well, or possibly Lightning Labels. I'm sure there's a number of other companies. I've just had good luck with Vistaprint, and I like their customer service as well. I do include a second item in the boxes as well with my candles, though, that is kind of more of a branding statement. This one is the Wild Child, which you guys, if you aren't familiar, this one, it smells literally like you're sticking your head into an herb garden. Absolutely obsessed with it. It uses the Makesy infused yarrow and blue chamomile fragrance, or Actually, it used to be called infused yarrow and guaiac wood, and now it is dewy buds and blue chamomile or something. But oh my God, this one, for all of the people who like earth scents, it is so, it'll just take you right into the heart of the garden. And it smells like almost like you're out in the countryside as well. It has like a sun-drenched meadow aesthetic to it. I am obsessed with, you all know I spent so much time on all the different fragrances in this collection. I'm also kind of showing different concrete candles. I'm trying to show you guys kind of the up close, just to show you how much variation that there is with these candles. And if you are trying to get like a uniform look with your concrete products, it's very, very difficult. Each one is going to have its own personality, and that is what makes them really unique products that, as I've said in previous videos, adds to your it adds to your line. It is in no way a factory made product. Each one is perfectly unique. And it also adds an element of mystery when your customers purchase on the website. And so the way I like to do it, though, just so they're not, totally caught off guard, is I will show like the several different examples of what the candle could look like on the website. And I will usually then state in the description the specific color of metallic paint that I will be using, as well as the specific color of the vessel. And sometimes I will have multiple colors for the same candle vessel, like with some of our limited edition scents. I've had that in the past, and then they are able to select which one they want. It really adds to the uniqueness and the experience of the product to have that element of mystery in there as well. And then your customer knows they know like the ballpark of what they're getting, but then there's that element of mystery. And I don't know, I've never had a customer complain that they didn't like the candle, or that they purchased something that they didn't think that they were getting. I know I have heard of other people having that happen with the concrete candles sometimes, but that's why I think it's really important on your website to make clear that this is a handcrafted vessel, and that each one is going to have a different personality or a slightly unique character, and that you're showing photos that represent some of the variation that they could get in their concrete candle. So just to set the expectations, and then your customer will they'll have a really good idea of what they're going to get. So we're gonna start packing up some customer orders. The way I do it on my website with the shipping, I've had a number of people ask me if concrete candles are really expensive to ship, and how I set my website for the shipping and all that kind of stuff. First of all, I wanna say that there's no right or wrong way to go with setting shipping on your website. However, I tend to go with the free shipping model for my Shopify store. And the reason for that is most of our customers, even if they purchase a lot of stuff from small businesses like you and me, they are used to places like Amazon and a lot of other places that do offer free shipping online. And so what I do personally is free shipping, and I have no order minimum for that. And so what that usually ends up being is you will lose. So let me back up a second. When you are pricing your products, you need to build in usually a few extra dollars per product to account for that shipping, because it's not really free. You're going to be paying it. And usually for shops that do free shipping, on smaller orders where they're just getting like one or maybe two products, you're probably going to end up losing a few dollars. But on larger orders, you're going to probably end up gaining a few dollars. And so it kind of balances out that way. However, you do want to kind of keep a close eye on things. So, for example, these concrete candles on average will cost me, for the 3-inch tulip from Modern Craft Labs with the 7.65 ounce fill that I do, as well as my box within a box and the packing, they will be about 2 pounds. And I do pack a single candle in one of these. This is a 6x6x6 box that I get from Uline. So on average, I would say with the new USPS Ground Advantage shipping, that's what I typically use. It'll cost around $8 to $9 to ship one of these candles. Sometimes $7 if it's really close, but usually I'd say the average is about $8. And so what I will do, I price these at $34 on the website. These candles I sell for reference in the Instagram live streams, which is a different shipping system where they do pay shipping. And that's a story for another video on why I use two different formats for two different platforms. But I sell those candles for $29. And so what ends up happening, selling them for $34 on the website, is I will lose, usually if the customer just purchases one candle. So in essence, if I paid $8 to ship this and I'm selling it for $34, the gross on the candle would be $26. They're what I consider $29 candles. So, and again, markup is a whole different story, and markup on a concrete candle like this is a story within a story because you're spending a massive amount of time making those vessels. So you have to account a little bit for that as well, depending on how much you want to pay yourself per hour to do that. So anyways, that is kind of how it works. But then on the larger orders, so say if I sold 3 of these candles for $102, and I ended up gaining per candle, I said I sell them for $29, but on the website I sell them for $34. I end up gaining $6 of shipping per candle. Then I'm probably going to have, $5, $6, $7 extra dollars on that order. And there's definitely other methods that you can use. I know there's a lot of shops that will do free shipping over a certain minimum. Or they'll have like a low flat rate shipping where they'll charge $5 or $7 shipping until you hit, $50, $75, $150, and then you get free shipping. But I would definitely encourage you to, if not use free shipping, use one of the low flat rates and then give them free shipping when they hit a certain number. I just think that it's definitely psychological, but I think that you will end up getting more sales that way. But again, that's just my personal opinion. And I do use a different system when I'm selling via Instagram live stream. In short, the main reason for that is because I am shipping usually a massive amount of products and huge boxes, sometimes a 12 by 12 or 2 12 by 12s, because these customers will purchase orders over multiple days of live sales. It's just a different system. So anyways, this is how I would pack one single concrete candle in the 3-inch by 3-inch height tulip mold from Modern Craft Labs. And I do put the packing slip in the side of the box like this. And then I will include some sort of sticker or branding of some form usually. And then I will also include some sort of a free sample for each order. It could be a wax melt. It could be, in this case, I had some Wanderlust wax melts, but usually I would say wax melts make the best free samples because what you want to think about is something that your customer might want to try that is similar to what they already have in their box, but that, if you were this customer that ordered this particular candle, what else might you like? And so picking a scent usually in the same family helps out with that. Now, this sticker that you just saw me put in is from my new thermal printer, which I will have a video on soon. Really cool little printer and definitely my preferred method now for printing my shipping labels. And so these kind of glitzier stickers with the sparkle and the holographic, I usually get from Sticker Mule, and that I would definitely recommend waiting for sales on. Their prices are kind of high. However, their quality is really good and they do have really good sales. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, you kind of want to sign up for their email marketing to know when they're going to have those sales. And then you're able to get different types of stickers like this with your branding that your customers can put on their water bottle, on their computer, all sorts of stuff like that. I would say it is essential to have some form of something, whether it's a sticker that you make yourself or, they also have like magnets and different types of things, but you want to have your customer putting your branding around their house. Like that is so important. And then the other thing I want to mention about the thermal printer, and again, I will have a whole video on this one in the future, is so I was previously printing labels with my just my standard laser printer. I actually have trouble, believe it or not, with my HP LaserJet. It doesn't really like to print shipping labels. Leave me a comment below if you guys had the same issue. So I either would print them with my HP NV6000 inkjet printer, or I would print them with my Brother laser printer, which is, it's a really cheap, just black and white laser printer, but it does better with shipping labels for whatever reason than my fancy HP LaserJet M479 FDW, which is like an $800 printer. And for whatever reason, it's probably something in the settings, but I found the thermal printer works a lot easier. Now, the one I have, you do have to connect it to the computer, which is kind of a pain, but I think they have like some other totally wireless options as well now, which is really nice. And those, at least the Munbin one that I have, it just connects so quickly to my computer, and the labels that it prints, I feel, are higher quality than the ones that I used to print that came on like the split paper that I would get and then print in my laser printer. Now, I am going to be including in this particular order a full wax melt, just because this customer ordered the Moonlight Mahogany, and I did not have a sample size wax melt that was similar enough to this scent that I thought they would like. So I ended up including a Black Sea, and they just got a full 6-cavity clamshell. Totally not necessary, but again, you have to look at some of this as bringing in future sales for yourself as well. So samples, yes, they're a cost, but this is one of the main ways you're going to bring your customer back, because they can't physically smell your product over the computer, right? So if they were in person, it would be much easier, obviously, if you were selling it like a market. But including free samples, I would say, is absolutely essential. And don't make the mistake that I've made so many times that I'm trying desperately not to make anymore, where you give them a free sample that you have either low stock on, no stock on, or something that you no longer carry. Because a lot of the times the customer, especially when you've gone the extra mile to include a sample that is similar to stuff that they already have, your customer will come back for that scent, and you want to make sure it's available. And as you can see on the inside of this box, I often will include stickers as well, and I do design these myself, typically in Canva or online labels. And the graphics I will usually get from something like PNG Tree or Creative Market, or different sites where you are able to download vector images or high quality JPEG and PNG images, and then add them onto your your sticker. And I usually use the 2x2 size from online labels, and the thermal printer actually has that size as well that you can get for it. So this particular customer has 2 candles, and as I've shown in my previous video, this is not the best box to be using for this order. However, this 10x10 is the closest thing that I have to, pack these candles. I'm using a bit too much packing peanuts for this, and paying a little bit more to ship a box that should ideally be a little bit smaller. However, they're going to be safe in here, and to me it's worth it, because I'm not looking to stock a million different size boxes at this point to fit all my different products. And as I've mentioned a number of times, the packing peanuts that I do use are biodegradable, and they're primarily made of cornstarch. They will just biodegrade in water. And I get them from Uline, but there's a number of different places. I would encourage you to do a little bit of research and see if you can find one that's even by your house. Here's the little packing slip that I like to include with my branding statement, and then a little note to the customers. And I'll link the paper that I use for these down below as well. Let me know if you'd like a full video on it. I designed them myself, and then just write a little note. It's actually a type of paper that I get on Amazon, where you can just tear it into 4 different like postcard type size. And then we have a sticker mule sticker with my branding there. But yeah, I would encourage you to look locally and see if you can find somewhere by you. Obviously not like UPS or like a big box store like that, or like an office supply store. I'm talking about if you put into Google in your area, like wholesale boxes, you know, and then you have like your area specifically, or wholesale shipping boxes or wholesale packing materials, but you want to have like wholesale in there and you want to have your local area in there. And then you will come up with lots of places that are going to be local to you. Oftentimes, will be kind of like no-name places that you're not familiar with necessarily, but they can have really good deals on cardboard boxes as well as sometimes on the packing peanuts. And I actually found one about 20 miles from me that carries the biodegradable packing peanuts. And so that is really nice to have as an alternative to Uline, because as we know, Uline is crazy on their shipping. And so anyways, these are the types of stickers that I will be adding for Pride Month on the outside of my package. Absolutely obsessed. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and let me know which types of videos you'd like to see in the future. I'm happy to share how I design these products. I'll also be adding a fragile sticker to the outside of all these boxes, and then physically dropping them off myself at the post office, which is the way I like to do it, especially in the summer. I don't want these sitting on the porch where they could potentially melt out in the sun while they're waiting to be picked up by USPS. But anyways, I'm sending all of you peace, love, and light, and I'm wishing all of you happy packing and happy candle making. I would like to take the time to thank my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out goes to Wendy, Nicole Rott, Nancy with All About Me Beauty Bar, Merle, Brad with Neon City Scents, Michelle, Paula, Zahara with Crystalline Candle Co., Julie with Belux Candle Co., Jennifer with Bea Essentials, Selena with Banbury Street Creations, Sue, Nick, Bruce, Flavia, Jennifer with Bittersweet Candle Co., Danielle, Anitra with Ninth and Maxwell, Matthew, Jindy, Lisa, Elizabeth, Carol, Cheryl with Soap Spice Cheryl, Maya, Losa, Luzdari, Daichi, John with Past Sense Candles, Angela, Amber, Bluegrass Bath and Candle Co., Marquita with The Beat Institute, Allie, Carla, Todd with Cold Creek Candle Co., Krista, SS, Karen with River Birch Soaps, Kina with Kijoli, Angela, Amanda, Denise with Grumblegeist Candle Co., She's More, Cindy, Kim, Teresa, Frida, Shiromi, J Creative P, Colette, Nicole, Stella, Leanne, Martha, Angela, Jamie, Chadwick, Z, Mabel, Arev, Bobby, Jamie, Amy with Candle Emporium, Stephanie, Honey, Terry, Maria, Genevieve, Gracie, Yolanda, Tonya, Susan, Irene, Rolanda with Mason Marzette, Megan, Melissa, Ursulette with Ursulette's Beauty Secrets, Kelly, TCM with Ava Bryceco, Lois, Tia, Victoria with The Sacred Prayer, Valerie, Stacy with Firewick with Me, Belinda, Rhonda, Smadar, Duchess Luxury Creations, Juliet, Carla, Crystal with Indigo Scents Candle Co., Anika, Kim with Kimberly's Candle Co., Kim, Angelic, Tia, Chris, Miss S, Shakira, Tiffany, Kim, BN, Lizette, Chandra, Pat, Chickadee Company, Tara, Indigo, SJ, Gina, Emily, Sandra, Heidi, Sunday, Michelle, Lisa, Angela, Kelly, Angela, Natalie with Walter's Wicks, Sherry, Cynthia, Denise, Sonia, Natasha, Aziza's Closet, Edward, Shambliss Candles and Soaps, Sabina, Raphael with the Laundress Candle Co., Desi, Kim, Abby Lane Candle Co., Christina, Tommy with Rose and Crown Soap, Tara, Joy, Katie, Diane, Kelly, Judith, Sherry, Diane, Courtney with 17 December's Candle Co., Stacy, Yvette, Teresa with All About Serenity, Janetta, Monica, Nick, Tim, Diane with Totafor, Anne with Sweet Annie's Natural Skincare, Jennifer with Honey's House Handcrafted, Michelle, Maria, Sarah, Alex, Roslyn with Hers and Hers Candle Co., Susan, Shaylee, Ia, Christopher, Louv, Brianna with Be Home Dispensary, Megan, Victoria, Ash, Nicole, Virginia, Kathy, Melania, Susie, Aaron, Regina with Adobe Rose Botanicals, Scott, Dana with MJ's Candle Creations, Leah, Stacy, Donna, Jennifer with The Clean Theory Candle Co., Maria, Mary, Zoe, Amber, Brandy, Peppa, Phil, Georgiana with Tropic Candle, Gazelle with Bozaifa, Helen, Brian with Light and Life Candles, Carla, Linda, Angela, Jane, Thomas, Anna, Jane with Peyton's Place Soapery, Evelyn with Divergent Glow, Tara with Cotton Picking Creations, Lynn, Martha, Kat, Danielle, Janelle, Sylvia with Two Chicks with Scents, Karen, Tammy with Nudie Bar Soap Co., Sandra, Karen, Crystal, Margaret with Sista Diva Design, Lori, Marcus, Anna with Ren and Rita, Devin, Christine, Melissa, Donna, Martha with Peachberry Candles, Neolin, Magnus, Kenneth, Michael, Nada, Joss, Raquel, Labushi, Rusnaini, Margie, and Lasonia. Your support is deeply appreciated.